Welcome, summoners, to games cast by Pan and Nero. If you wish to see more commented games, follow my social media pages below. Looks like we are going to have a Varus Sona lane on down bottom. We are going to have a Lux in the mid again, with a Nunu and JChunkz up top. We did see Zyra, Karthus, Olaf get banned out, in addition to Syndra, Kha'Zix, and Lee Sin. But I do think JChunkz is just as potent as that Rumble, and has the potential to snowball into even higher power, as JChunkz is just one of the strongest top laners in the game. For the blue team, we do see a Misfortune Lulu down bottom, Shen up top, Katarina in the mid, and a Xin Zhao in the jungle. I don't think they're going to actually lane swap this time, as we do see Shen and JChunkz duking it out fairly often, and usually Shen and JChunkz go fairly even, as they both kind of trade farm, and whichever jungler gives them a little bit of an advantage usually wins that lane. But for the blue side, they have to win fairly early, or get enough of a lead that Katarina can just snowball the game out of control. Because if they don't, Misfortune, Lulu, and Shen are all going to kind of fall off just a little bit, so that Shen can't split push, or Misfortune and Lulu just don't do enough damage to get Katarina those resets in a team fight. But if Katarina can get those resets, oh boy, is she going to have a lot of fun. And she has the potential to do it. Don't get me wrong, she has a lot of potential to actually get those resets in the fight. But I don't think she's actually going to be able to, unless they get ahead early. Misfortune has picked up Cleanse, and I'm not totally sure why, unless she just wants to get out of the Varus ultimate, and she movement ultimate, but she should be fast enough that unless she's stunned or slowed, Varus should not have a chance to hit her ultimate. Misfortune is one of the fastest AD carries in the game, and has a really kind of slippery streak to her. We do get to see an Amumu this game. We've seen several Amumus this tournament, and Amumu's always done pretty well. They might not have always won, but Amumu himself has always done fairly well. In addition to the Lux and Sona, and Amumu, Sona, and Varus are going to have a really powerful AoE alt combo, because any one of them can start it off with either Sona flashing in and ulting, hitting multiple people, Varus throwing out his ultimate, hitting several people, and then Amumu following it up with his. They could do that in any order, and it'd be really devastating in a team fight, especially if they topple that with the fact that Lux can throw a light binding out and actually catch someone. Then they can throw the combo on top of whoever gets light binded. That's going to be pretty deadly, and I'm not sure how the blue team is really going to respond with it. They have a chance if they can get ahead early, but I'm not, as I said earlier, I'm not sure they're going to be able to. And it looks like we are going to the game finally. Will we actually be able to get it this time? Come on, come on. There we go. As everyone loads up in the game, we do see Misfortune on the Mafia skin, Wicked Lulu, Slaybell and Katarina, and Warlord Shen. In addition to the skinless Xin Zhao for the blue team. For the red side, Arc-like Varus, Little Knight Amumu, Lux, Genquin Sona, and Angler JChunkz. And I definitely have to give the edge to the red team this game, especially after the first one where they really dominated and snowballed several key advantages. I think they can do the same thing again by either keeping JChunkz down or the blue team can keep JChunkz down, they might have a chance, and if they can keep Amumu from really getting those good ultimates. They don't have a great way of stopping him other than Xin Zhao popping his own ultimate, or Lulu polymorphing him as soon as he jumps in. But they do have a good chance, and they're all going to prevent a lot of roam this game with Shen up top, as Shen can easily teleport to his allies whenever he needs to. And we are going to see him. Come on, Amumu, you can finish uploading. Same with you, Shen. And that's about what we're going to be seeing. Is I definitely think if the AoE CC combo of the red team gets off, they're going to win every single team fight so incredibly hard, as every single one of their team members has an AoE stun or root, and it is just going to be devastating. I don't think we're going to have any real surprises this game in terms of starting off. Though I do think the red team is going to try and invade again. They invaded in the first game, and they're going to invade this time. They have the Lux again. They have a little bit more CC with Jax, who has an AoE CC. Amumu, who can pick up bandage toss if he needed. Varus, who can pick up an AoE slow should they want it. And I definitely think they're going to go invade. Jax has already picked up the counter strike. And blue team is actually waiting for it this time. They might actually have a chance to stop this invade. As this is going to be a full 5-on-5 fight. Though Lulu does throw it out. Light Binding does hit on the back end, but Jax is getting low. And Shen does get low as well. Shen throwing the taunt out. But Amumu does get low as well. Jax flashes away at the last second. And no casualties in this level 1 5v5 fight. Thing is, it looks like Xin Zhao is pretty low and will be taken down with the Ignite for first blood. Varus continues to fight on, but he will be taken down by Katarina. No, Lulu does pick up the kill, making that a 1-for-1 with Katarina not dying, though Lux trying to get in range. He does get in range to pick up the Katarina kill, making that a 2-for-1 in the favor of the red team. Though nice light binding out there by Lux at the end. Means that there will be no follow-up. And that's a pretty big kills to give away, with the red team picking up both first blood and a kill on the back end. And the kills went to people that really need them. The Varus picked up a kill and Lux picked up a kill. While on the blue team, it's just Lulu to pick up a kill. While Lulu picking up a kill is nice and all, you really want it on that AD carry, mid laner, or top laner. And red team got it on the people that really needed it. Looks like Lulu will be starting blue. Same thing with Xin Zhao, as they can both easily start it. And if no problem, Lulu is going to do a smiteless version. Well, I do believe Xin is going to have to burn his smite early. Looks like a bunch of crystalline flasks coming out from almost everyone on the red side. With the blue team going with a bunch of potions, in addition to some small items. Lulu trying to throw out some harass here, but Varus wisely has picked up boots and that Doran's blade, meaning he's going to be a real terror in this lane, and I don't think MsFortune can actually stand against him for a good while, as she only has potions and a longsword. And Varus should have a really nice time down bottom. Shen up top is trying to get to level 2, but Jax, with the extra experience from that level 1 fight, should be in good shape. And the extra experience all around from that level 1 fight is really paying off for the red side, as they are now up almost 800 gold. And it's only going to get worse, as there's just not a good way for them, the blue team, to come back from this early deficit. As they really do need to win early, or that AoE CC combo is really just going to go run over them. And we saw part of what happened there earlier in the level 1 fight with Jax's counter-strike doing a lot of damage. Though Jax does take a tower hit up top, they are basically even at this point, with Jax having a slight advantage to the reward. And misses the bandage toss and the light binding as well. Katarina coming back in for a little bit of damage. And I think we're just going to go back to farming for a little bit. I don't think there are going to be any more ganks by Amumu, as he needs to just power up and get level 6. Light binding does come out, and that means that Katarina is in a bit of trouble, as she does take a good bit of damage, but she is farming pretty well. Varus doing a lot of damage down bottom to MsFortune, as MsFortune is likely going to have to go back to base after this, as she does not have very much health. And she does not have potions either. Lulu not able to really stand her through any of it. Then we're going to come to the mid lane, but I do think he's spotted out by a Katarina ward. And Lulu's going to come down bottom. Xin Zhao is going to come down bottom as well. Will they actually meet down bottom? Though I do think Amumu now decided to back away. He had a good chance to fight if he went down there, but he was going to have to fight Xin Zhao and MsFortune and Lulu under a tower. And I don't think a 4-minute tower dive is such a great idea. Here comes Xin Zhao, as he is spotted out, but does not get into range despite Lulu's best efforts to try to help him get there, as he is just not fast enough without boots. Looks like MsFortune has had to go back, and the bottom lane is just going to be pushed pretty heavily by this Varus and Sona. Though it looks like they are actually going to go back, they're going to pick up some items. They are pretty far ahead in this lane, as MsFortune has opted for the Doran's blade. Up top, Shen is losing out slightly to Jax, but both of them are fairly even at this point in time. We do have Lux actually ahead of Katarina very slightly. But the problem here is this game is still in the red side's favor, and they are really going to be a much stronger late game team. The red side's late game is far superior to the blue side. And there comes Jax with a counter strike, and it will land on Shen, and Shen takes a good bit of damage, but Shen does not taunt. And they are basically trading at this point. Shen getting slightly better than Jax just because the minions are helping him out. Looks like we are going to see Jax continue to farm with Shen doing a lot of damage to him, and that Jax is going to have to go back to base at this point. I do believe he has a bunch of potions, but a bunch of potions do not make a very strong lane. Zhao is going to try and come in, but no, he's just kind of running around, as he did steal the big wraith away from Amumu. And Jax is just using all those potions to just heal up. You really can't afford to miss that creep wave. If he does miss that creep wave, he is in a lot of trouble. As we do see Jax jumping in there, pops the counter strike, Amumu coming in. Will Amumu be able to land his bandage toss? Looks like Shen doesn't care, and he's just going to go fight Jax, and Jax will go down to the ignite. But I do think Shen's going to go down the backside. No, Shen actually gets away. Katarina just dodges another light binding. And Lux is not a very good counter to Katarina. Katarina can just basically free farm that lane. And it looks like Katarina is out of items, or out of potions at this point. She started with basically a pure potion reward build. Looks like Xin Zhao's down bottom. Will he actually try for a gank? I don't think Xin Zhao is actually going to try for a gank at this point. But he very well could. Shen up top jumping in onto Amumu, and Amumu's going to take a good bit of damage as Shen is healed up thanks to burning all of his potions. And the score is 2-2 with a 400 gold lead for the red team. Mostly thanks to a bit more gold on the first blood, and all the lanes grabbing a very large amount of leads. Well, with the exception of mid lane, where mid lane is actually down. But this Katarina could come. She's really going to have to be a big factor in these fights soon. She has picked up a hunting guys, in addition to potions and wards, and she needs to really become part of a fight soon. If she can get a kill or two and start really picking up the advantage, she'll be okay. But if she doesn't, she's in for a world of trouble, and it's not going to be a very fun game for her. The longer she continues to go without kills, she is going to run bottom. And I do think she will be spotted out by a ward if she goes by the tri-brush. But instead, she is going to go through the bottom portion of the lane. Shen has picked up a giant's belt. And it looks like she has gotten down here safely. Will Varus or Sona ward? Looks like Lulu does pop out the stun, and there's Katarina with the big ultimate. Varus not able to get away. So, yes, the ignite does finish him off. And that's what Katarina really needed, is she just needed that one kill. And that should give her enough gold to buy a next item, possibly even boots, to make the kill a little more successful. Looks like we are going to have Varus picking up a double Doran's Blades in addition to the Vampire Scepter. Lux has gone with double Doran's Rings and boots. We do see Amumu going with a Philosopher's Stone instead of the Spirit Stone right off the bat. Sona's going to complete her Philosopher's Stone real quick. Jax is going to actually grab his own red buff. Or just leave it for Amumu. But yeah, he's actually leaving it for Amumu, interesting enough. Though Katarina has placed a ward near the race, which did spot Jax and Amumu. Looks like Xin Zhao's going to come through the mid lane, and they might actually try a little push. No, they decide against it. They could do a push pretty easily, especially with Shen with his ultimate up. We do see Jax having picked up cloth armor in addition to the Mercury treads early. He's not having the game he had last time, as last time he was already snowballing away. This time, he's kind of even with Shen at this point, and even down slightly. You see Lux move double Doran's Ring. You see the Sight Stone picked up onto Sona, in addition to almost having that Philosopher's Stone. Let's do a good bit of damage, but the bottom Xin Zhao is in a lot of trouble. The move wall does come out, and he is taken out, transferring that double buff over to Varus. So Katarina not having anyone low enough to really jump in on. And And that is a pretty big win, picking up those double buffs onto someone like Varus. Varus is going to have a great time with both the slow and unlimited mana. And it's going to be really hard for anyone to actually contest him. So Katarina's still just going to farm mid, and Shen up top is actually having a really good time with his Jax. Jax is forced to pop Counter Strike under tower, and without Counter Strike, I think Shen might actually try and go for a tower dive. Varus doing a great job of just poking down this misfortune every single chance he gets. And Varus should be able to carry this game if he continues like he is. He's farming incredibly well, and is not letting misfortune get that much farm, as she is down 30 CS at this point in time. The score is 3-3 with a 1,000 gold lead for the red team. And the big difference here from game 1 is the AD carries are not super fed, and the top laner for the red side is not picking up random kills that probably shouldn't have happened. Looks like Varus is going to do a fair bit of damage to Misfortune, as Misfortune does go down before anything happens. That will be able to jump in there and knock him up, but he is exhausted. I don't think he's going to have enough damage, but here comes the Shen ultimate, and Shen will not be able to come down here, but Xin Zhao does do a good bit of damage to Varus, and will Varus be able to survive? Yes, he will, but no, the last tick of a red buff or Ignite actually does finish him off. And that's pretty good for Varus, as he picked up 3 kills there. And this Varus is snowballing out of control. Looks like Shen is going to be jumped out by Jax. And Shen will be actually taken down by Jax here, as Jax just got a lot of damage in while Shen was ulting. That's one of the disadvantages of a Shen lane, is you can really lose a lot of health while you ultimate. We do see Xin Zhao going to be coming up top and try and hold this lane, as there is now a 2,500 gold lead for the red team. Katarina really needs to start getting involved in these fights. She was involved in one earlier, but she needs to go do that again. Just run around, roam, pick up a kill or two, and snowball yourself. Even if you're losing kills, you're gaining gold with Katarina, as Katarina needs to be as strong as she can to snowball these fights out and get all of those juicy resets. Looks like Amumu's going for an early Aegis of the Legion, having picked up the Philosopher's Stone in addition to the machete as well. Amumu going to come down bottom, but I do believe he's spotted by a Tribush ward. Yes, he is. As Misfortune and Lulu either suspect something or just really playing it safe. Looks like the red team is going to posture up for Dragon pretty soon, as Dragon should be the next objective they go for. We see Lulu and Misfortune going to continue to farm, with Shen trying to go up here and fight Jax. Jax has picked up Vampire Scepter and Durance Blade. And at this point, Shen is going to actually win this trade, thanks to just waiting and burning that taunt late. Shen has picked up a Chain Vest in addition to a Giant's Belt. Xin Zhao is going to be dropping a pink ward in that Tribush and killing off the ward. Looks like we do have Lux picking up the Blasting Wand, in addition to her already had Doran's Rings. And it looks like Lux will grab the blue buff as well. And Lux does need to make something happen with this blue buff. She's farming very well, but she's also letting Katarina farm. And Katarina has just picked up Sorcerer's Shoes, meaning she is going to do a lot of damage. Also, for Lux says go out, hits Katarina, but not a whole lot done. Katarina needs to start rotating. If she doesn't rotate and pick up kills, she is not going to be strong enough to just continually reset late in fights, or even survive late in fights. It looks like we are going to be having another fight up top, as Shen gets the advantage on Jax. Jax just does not have the sustain to keep up with Shen. Shen has far more sustain. Like the ultimate from Sona does come out, but the ultimate from Lulu does counter it fairly well, and both sides do back away, as Lulu does get low in Misfortune trying to come in here and get on the Varus, but she does decide to go for Sona as well, but just not fast enough, as that Varus slow is a little too strong. Lulu trying to get in there and get on Sona, and she does do a good bit of damage, but no, Lulu just does not have enough Enemy's Misfortune will go down thanks to being a little greedy. Katarina was in the area as well, but is not able to get there in time to really make a difference in that fight. And that's one reason why teams do like to see Katarina pick up Teleport. So Shen and Jax are going to continue to go at it, as Lux throws out the binding, misses Katarina. And that's one of the things I do wish this Katarina did was pick up Teleport, which allows her to get into all these fights. It might not be as good at Ignited dueling or picking up that last kill, but it allows her to actually get in there and fight without having to run around. And all this time kind of spent running for nothing. It's really hurt her levels, and she's just now hitting level 11. And she is at decent farm though, but she's just behind a good bit to this Lux. Jax has going to pick up a Gunblade next, having picked up the Pickaxe and Vampiric Scepter. Shen's going to finish off with Sunfire Cape pretty soon. Xin Zhao picking up a Giant's Belt, likely into a Frozen Mallet or Warmongs. Both are pretty viable choices, and they could use the extra slow this game. You have Katarina jumping in on Lux and doing a good bit of damage, but this Katarina just doesn't do enough damage at this point. She needs to go pick up some kills. As even if you're trading kills with Katarina, as long as you're getting fairly fresh kills, you're going to have a very good time later on. Looks like Varus has picked up a Bloodthirster in addition to his Zeal, Berserker Cruise, and the Double Durance Blades. Amumu trying to come out there, but no. Just backing up Katarina a little bit. We do have Misfortune going for the Bloodthirster, about to complete that off. As we do see Sunfire Cape completed up on Shen. Jax and Shen is going to duel it out. But Jax is getting slightly better of that trade. But the thing is, Jax popped his ultimate during that, and it's not going to be up for a while. Shen should be able to just farm off the minions and heal himself up. The big problem is Jax is getting farmed, and he's not really being shut down. He's had a few cases where he was taken low, but never anything that dangerous, outside of the one time he has died. And looks like he's going to jump up on soon, as Jax does go land the stun on him, but Shen will just back away and use his WAPPA blades to heal himself up a bit. Looks like he's going to come down here for a fight, but he is going to run to Katarina as Xin Zhao, and she does pop her ultimate, but her ultimate is just not in a good position, as the Sona crescendo really stopped that from happening. Varus will be just fine as his ultimate does go across as well, preventing the Misfortune and Lulu from actually engaging in that fight. Xin Zhao's going to come down bottom and try and just steal a bit of CS, as he is doing fairly well, but he's just not able to make anything happen without dying himself. He's going to have to be their tank in these fights, as I don't think Shen is going to actually be able to tank it up. He's going to have to come in later with his Stand United after split pushing and force 4v5 fights. Xin Zhao is going to continue to stay down bottom, and without the ultimates from both Varus and Sona, it's going to be fairly hard for them to actually defend a well-fought Xin Zhao charge in. Xin Zhao does have his ultimate still, and will use it as Shen jumps in. But all of that just for a Sona kill, not likely worth it. Though Varus is in a bit of trouble, Varus should be just fine, as Shen is not doing enough damage to actually take him down. And throughout all that, Jax does take down the top turret. Lux going out a nice bit of damage as she does land the binding. She can see everything that's going on here. Varus pretty low, but he's still just fine, as he does heal up a ridiculous amount with every single one of his shots thanks to the Lux. And Lulu does go down thanks to the light binding and auto attack as well. Jax up top is going to continue split pushing, likely to take down another tower, as this game has just kind of gotten out of hand, with little advantages being won all over the place by the red side. Amumu and Jax do take down this top tower, but they do trade for Dragon. They're a very good trade, as they are likely going to go for this inhibitor tower next. Shen does jump in on Lux. Lux is pretty low. Will Lux actually go down? No, she will not. The second part of her shield comes in to save her at the last second. And it looks like Misfortune might go down as well, though Katarina does pick up a kill on the back end. And at this point, Xin Zhao is in a lot of trouble thanks to Jax, but Lulu is there to save him. And Xin Zhao, will actually die to the last tick of Ignite. I kind of thought the Ignite was over by then, but apparently not. As we do see Amumu picking up an Ace of the Legion, in addition to the Philosopher's Stone and I'm not sure what he's going to go for at this point. He's probably going to go for the Runic Bulwark to prevent Katarina from snowballing. But I don't think it matters too much as this team is in a very commanding position. Up 6,000 gold at this point. We do have Lux picking up the Death Cap in addition to the Doran's Rings. And the Blasting Wand. You have Sona with the Ruby Sight Stone in addition to going for Australia's Reverie up next. Blade of the Rune King up on the Jax. And he's likely going for the Trinity Force now. You have Misfortune picking up a Bloodthirster with Xin Zhao going for a Sunfire Cape. We have Lulu with all three of the early game support items with the double gold pretend and sight stone. Katarina has opted for some spell vamp, likely going for that Will of the Ancients, as she has picked up a Blast Wand in addition to the Hex Tech Revolver and Haunting Guise. With Shen likely going to go for the Aegis of the Legion next, as I think that'd be a much needed item to prevent the massive damage coming out of Jax, Lux, and Varus. Lulu just running around scouting for wards, but will not find any at this point. Though they do know he is there, as they did kill a ward. Xin Zhao coming down bottom, as the bottom tower is destroyed. Xin Zhao and Katarina wanted to come down bottom, but they were spotted out, so the red team just kind of backs away. Looks like the ultimate for Lux does go out and takes Katarina very low. But Jax is having a hard time getting at this tower. So he might actually just decide to bow rush it, as Shen's taunt was down. He is pretty low. Will Shen actually be able to land a taunt and go on this? I don't think so. We do see Lux and Varus going to push this middle lane. With Sona backing them up means they're not going to have any trouble with poke. And there isn't a whole lot of poke. A little bit from Lulu and a little bit from Katarina. So you see Amumu grabbing his move up, but he is in a bit of trouble, as Shen will be able to just taunt over this wall. The rest of the blue team coming in as well. And I'm really not sure what the blue team can do at this point. They're just down a little too much. And the long range poke power of the red side is going to get to them. Lux is going to be able to just poke things down. Varus shoots a big arrow across the team. Light Bonding lands on Katarina, and Lux will get everybody leveled up. Beautiful Amumu up, hitting 4, but Amumu might go down for it. So he has gotten the entire team very weak. Lux is going to throw out a shield, but to no effect. And trading 1 for 1 plus a tower is pretty much always a good trade, if you're the one getting the tower as well. Looks like we are going to see Varus push down mid, with everyone running up to try and stop Jax. So I don't think they're going to be able to, as he does get the tower up top. And does a lot of damage to this Misfortune, but Misfortune just backs away. And Lulu is also not in a very good position, as Jax is going to be able to put this tower down. Same thing with Varus, they're going to push this middle tower down as well. And that should be basically game over, as it is now snowballed up to a 10,000 gold lead. And the amount of poke from the red side is just way too strong. The blue side kept it close for most of the game. They even had several lanes winning, but they just couldn't beat this Varus combo down bottom. And Jax just got a little too much farm. That's just what it comes down to. They're going to try and pull something off, possibly even a Desperation Baron, as that is their really only option here, is if they try a Desperation Baron and actually get it. And that's what they're doing. Looks like the Baron is not going to be going down very quickly, as they don't have the damage, and they're forced back because Amumu runs in. And we are going to see them back up, but they do run across a ward and are spotted out. And the red team's trying to get in on them, but I don't think they're fast enough. Amumu does land advantage, toss on himself from the back end. Lux throws a big laser across. Since Amumu did hit 5 people with that ultimate, and that is the power of these AoE ultimates. Misfortune does throw her ultimate across, doing a good bit of damage, but Lux finishes him off. Finishes off Shen. And that's what happens when you put these AoE ultimates together, especially in the jungle, is that Amumu ultimate stuck them all 5 in a perfect line for Lux. And that means this should be a good game, as I don't see any way for them to really fight without the Xin Zhao and Shen. And those are down for a significant amount of time. And Xin Zhao has just now respawned, and they're going to have to run for it. All of them goes off. Oh, there's Sona, but Katarina does go down. Xin Zhao does go in and picks up a kill on DjChunkz. But that is not enough, as we do have Varus and Lux still here. And those are the big damage dealers. Shen's going to try and come up there and do something. But I think he's just going to get kited to death thanks to the red buff on Varus. Also from left goes out and misses his misfortune. But Shen is going to try and go up there. Does land a taunt on two. And it might get Lux low, but Lux does not go down. Shen goes down instead. And misfortune will be going down thanks to another big hit by Lux. And this Lux landed several key spells in that last fight that really snowballed the team to victory. And that should be a good game with a 2-0 victory. And that's just how things go. The red team for this game was just a little better in every regard. Every single one of their lanes did well, and they snowballed that off team. Then they snowballed it to some team synergy with some beautiful Amumu ultimates and some just misplays trying to kill that Varus down bottom. Let's take a quick look at the items, if the client will allow it. There we go. Just a quick look there, as we do see a shard of True Ice picked up on Lulu. Nothing new picked up on Xin Zhao. Zio picked up on Misfortune. Nothing new on Katarina or Shen, other than the Aegis of the Legion on Shen. We do see Lux picking up the Death Cap and the Void Staff. Amumu going for the Abyssal Scepter, most likely, in addition to the Aegis of the Legion. Varus with the Bloodthirster and Phantom Dancer. We do see Sona with the Shirley's Reverie and Ruby Sightstone. Jax on the back end picking up Blade of the Rune King and going for a Trinity Force afterwards. But that whole game just came down to the red team being a little bit stronger.
Thank you for watching Games Cast by paroL. For more commented games, please visit my YouTube and stream channels.